Hello everyone, I'm Bunny Williams and this is Homeworthy. Welcome to my home.
I told Kurt that even if we showed nothing else of Florida, that we had to show a little bit of our home down here, because that's been one of the most intriguing things for everybody, it seems. So here you are. This is our home in Florida.
It's nothing grand, and it was a lot less grand when we got it. Cory and I love the journey, not necessarily the destination. So we've never been able to buy a house that's already done. We always want something that needs help, and this one needed help. We bought it in December of 2019. We had to go back up to P-Town in January because we had some stuff we had to do, and they were going to come back down.
When we originally bought this, it had purple walls and a green shag carpet. Right after we bought it, COVID hit. And so we not only didn't have the resources during COVID to be able to replace the carpet, but we didn't have the money to be able to do it either, because we weren't sure whether the guest houses were going to even make it or not. So we didn't spend anything. Kurt did paint the walls during that time, and we weren't exactly sure what direction we wanted to go in. We wanted to keep it nice and bright though, and Florida-ish, so we replaced the purple walls with just a nice plain white. When we first bought this place, there was nothing in it at all. It was completely bare. There was no furniture of any kind. One of the first things we had to do was go and get a sofa, and we found this, which is great. It's not a pull-out, but we wanted something that felt like a sectional. It's kind of got a small size to it, but we both can sit on it, and I can lay on one side and he can spread out on the other side. And this is just perfect for the space. There are 3 original paintings that we have here, which are very special to me, by a gentleman named Lenny Paoletti.
Lenny Paoletti was one of the original, or one of the owners of Charm back when it was called Elephant Walk. So he did a lot of male nudes.
He had owned the Elephant Walk for probably about 14 years. He painted pretty prolifically, and he was really, really good. We were lucky enough to acquire several of his paintings. We still have a few up in Provincetown, but I brought these 3 down here. They're really special to me because obviously Lenny Paoletti and I share the fact that we're both inn owners. And in fact, we both own the same inn, and also we paint. Something a lot of people don't know is that Kurt is actually a good artist himself. He's a fantastic drawer and illustrator. And there are several pieces here by him. This is one of them. He doesn't do it. He just does not sit down and draw anymore. And I beg him to, and I hope someday he goes back to it, because he's fantastic. He's really the artist in the family, not me. I also started painting a lot during COVID down here. And this is one of my abstracts that I did.
And this was the first thing Cory ever bought me. And where'd you get it from? Santa Fe?
Santa Fe.
Yeah, Santa Fe. So this was 30 some years ago. This was a plastic fish that I caught at Home Goods.
When we first walked in to tour this place, one thing that I noticed right away was how tall the ceilings were, because every other place that we'd looked at had very low ceilings. And in fact, Kurt, in a couple places, had to crouch down to walk around. And I knew that that wasn't going to work. There's no way he could live like that. We needed to find a place that had tall ceilings, because he's 6'6". We walked in here and there are tall ceilings everywhere. Every room has a high ceiling. So this had to be ours. The other reason why I knew this had to be ours was because it had a decent kitchen. So many of the places we looked at did not have decent kitchens. They had really small, either galley kitchens or just tiny little mobile home kitchens. This has an entire quarter of it dedicated to a kitchen that even has an island. So there was no question in my mind. This was the one that we had to get.
We've got grand plans, but this was a money situation.
These are still the original green countertops that it had when we bought it. And this green was the color of the carpeting that was in here originally, believe it or not. And so we're going to be replacing the countertops. We're going to be replacing the cabinetry. We're also going to be reorganizing a little bit. We're going to be shoving the sink over this way, getting a full-size dishwasher, because this isn't a full-size dishwasher.
These are going to switch not to a marble, probably a man-made thing that's a little bit more durable. And then we got to do a lot of flooring. We did do the carpet here, but we're going to do laminate veneer, luxury veneer laminate or something like that, LVL. In these, and we're going to pick out a really cool color. It's probably going to look like that little cabinet, right, or that little end table right there. I love that color, and that'd go great with the carpeting. We have to finish getting appliances. This we got during COVID because our refrigerator bit the dust during COVID, so we went to Lowe's, and this was the only, they had like 3 or 4 in stock. This is the only one that would fit in there. We're not great fans of it because it's really deep and really narrow. So you got to really reach back. So we'd probably do something different next time.
This is the worst refrigerator in the world. We had an old refrigerator that came with the place when we bought it, which died right in the middle of the COVID lockdown. And this was sort of a weird spot to have to put a refrigerator in. So it had to be certain dimensions. With no leeway on either side. The only thing we could find was one that's very deep, but it fit in the spot. But I'll tell you something, it is a pain for getting stuff in and out of. You put stuff in and it goes all the way to the back and you forget about it. When they delivered it, Kurt and I went and we sat outside while they were inside. We opened up all the windows in this place. And then after they left, I think we waited 20 minutes to let it air out. And then we came in and probably Lysol the whole place. I don't remember. But gosh, that was ridiculous, right? Those were ridiculous times. But you had to do it. We had to keep safe. Everybody did. I have been absolutely spoiled in Provincetown because I get to use a commercial grade convection oven, which I love. It is so efficient and it bakes everything so beautifully. We use it for making various breakfast items. But I use it for roasting chickens. I cook our casseroles in it, lasagna. When we came down here, I don't have anything like that. And I had to do the next best thing. So this is a BREVILLE little air fryer, but it also toasts and bakes and warms and does all kinds of other stuff. It's not quite as good as my Blodgett commercial convection oven up in Provincetown, but it ain't bad. It gets the job done. Someday I will live in a house and I will have my own commercial grade convection oven because I told Kurt I just can't live without one.
Here's our little bar. I don't drink. This is all Cory's.
When we set up this little bar area, we needed to have something to go over the bar, and it was COVID. We couldn't go out. We couldn't find anything. So I played around and I painted something myself. And there it is. When we were just trying to decide how we were going to decorate, I knew that I wanted this room, which we call the mezzanine, to have a different feel than the upstairs, which is really our living room. This is sort of a bonus room, and I wanted to have kind of an old school gentleman's club / cigar bar feel to it, and yet keep it Florida. And when you think about those things, you think about Ernest Hemingway. And so I wanted to create a room where Ernest Hemingway would have been comfortable sitting in a leather chair, having a cigar, drinking a scotch.
The reason that there isn't this kind of mantle looks kind of weird is we're going to have a built-in shelf over there. Bookshelf. Yeah, bookshelf.
The reason why there's a gap is because we were, and we still are, going to put in a bookcase feature all the way up to the ceiling. So envision the mantle, a big-ass fireplace, and then a bookshelf feature there.
So that's kind of why we pushed everything this way. If we don't do it, we'll just take this off, recenter it, and then we're going to probably get a bigger electric fireplace down here too, one that looks a little bit more authentic. This was from a house like 3 houses ago, but it's still working, so we brought it down here.
That one was in storage in Provincetown, having come from our house in Boston, where it fit perfectly in that space. We never found a space for it in Provincetown, so it was just in storage. We brought it down here. We love having a fireplace feature, even though it is fake.
It's kind of meant to evoke like a club room or a fraternity or something like that. So we've got a lot of pictures of our dads up, and a wonderful painting. It's called Boy in Orchard.
This painting might look vaguely familiar to those of you who visited Provincetown, say 10, 15 years ago. That's because this painting used to hang in the porch bar at the Gifford House over its fireplace. And we acquired it probably about 8 years ago. And we didn't have a place in Provincetown to put it because it's huge and we don't have a lot of wall space in Provincetown. And it doesn't really fit with our theme up there. But it fits fine down here, and we're thrilled to have it, and people always come in and want to know about this painting.
I don't care for this eyebrow window. Evokes center entry colonials to me of the 1980s. So I'm not a big fan of that. So we'll square that off and it'll become a rectangle, and we'll keep these, and then we'll have a really cool door. But we have 3 doors to this place, so we have to do them all when we do it.
We have to talk about the elephant in the room.
The elephant in the room, these columns.
The columns. They don't serve, as far as we're aware, any structural purpose. They were purely design, decor aesthetic. They're not our bag at all, and someday they've got to go. They're big and heavy though. They're made of plaster, and they were very cool, I'm sure, at the time when the original owner built the place, but they just don't work. So someday they've got to go.
The guy that built this was a window dresser for Macy's, JCPenney or something like that. So everything was grand. We had chandeliers that hung down about 4 feet from the ceiling in here and in there, which he used as a dining room, which we changed into a living room. And I forget what was here, but this was a big one too.
That was a big ugly chandelier.
Yeah, big ugly chandelier. So anyway, finally got rid of all that. This ceiling was all cracked and gross, so I had to patch it and paint it, and I think it needs one more coat yet to make it look really good. And then Cory uses this area up here as his studio when we're down here, and he hasn't been painting because he's been working on the videos, but I hope he gets back into it.
Okay, so that's our Florida house. We hope you've enjoyed seeing it. You will see it in future videos as well. Thank you so much. We so love doing this vlog and sharing our lives with you all. By the way, I am very sorry that we've been so unreliable with our videos for the past couple weeks. We'll get back into the groove soon enough. I promise you. Bye.